Why come back here? What made you want to come back here?
This the guys, this the family atmosphere, this the young guys just working every day, trying to help young guys grow. Just when you love the game of basketball, it treats you right if you do the right things, and I'm blessed to be here. I don't take it for granted. Every day I come here, I'm smiling because we go to work, and the whole process is about getting better and try to make the next guy next to them better.
What's the state of your individual game now compared to 12 months ago about this time?
It's just getting better. I'm just working with the young guys, just adjusting, having a lot of fun, just learning every day. No matter how many years you've been in the league, you always can learn something new. Just being Taj. All I know how to be is just Taj. Go out there, just love my teammates, and just try to be there and try to be a great teammate.
Are you, just a guess, you seem like thinner than last
Yeah.
year. Have you dropped any weight or anything like that?
I've been this training staff has been treating me so well all summer, even now. Just on top of my just health and as far as just muscle, more muscle, less body fat. The older you get, this isn't the old NBA where you can be like 245 back in my older days. Trim down a lot, just try to save my legs. But it's just a fun all-around experience. Just seeing your abs, seeing your health grow, seeing your muscles, seeing the young guys just train with you late, running sprints late, having fun, and just building bonds. That's what it's all about.
How does that kind of change in composition show up on the court? Does it help you move out there? Is it just saving your knees?
It helps me move great. One thing about when you're a vet, the test of time is always whether you can come into training camp in shape, having the respect of your teammates, and that's one thing about my whole career. I've always been in shape. I have never just been sitting on just being a couch potato, just working on my game. And then just coming in here, having the young guys calling my name after practice, after workouts, or during workouts, and we getting the extra work in and continue to get better. I'm loving it. I love coming to the gym. I love just being a part of especially a great organization like this. I'm blessed. I smile every morning I come in, and I try to make my presence known as soon as I come in, and that's how blessed I feel.
We're talking to Tyus today. What about him makes him a good point guard for this group right now that's trying to rebuild, form the good habits, and compete on court?
One thing about Tyus, I've been around him since early in his career. He's only getting better and better. He's a true first point guard. He can shoot it, he can pass it, he's a leader. One thing about him, he's a real leader in the locker room and off the court, and he's a calm and composed young fella. I just love his whole demeanor, the family guy, and he's only going to get better. His whole career, he's been able to come off the bench, start, and that's what I love about him. He doesn't never take anything too personal. He's just a team-first guy.
When did you first meet him? You said you known him
I known him once I got to Minnesota. It was his hometown.
Yeah.
And we went to the playoffs. But I was able to be with him early and watch him grow, and he's turned into a fine young man.
What stands out to you about the new front office and their day-to-day approach?
Just creating bonds, creating togetherness, understanding the process, understanding the process of getting guys to grow, getting the process of just trying to change things. And so far it's been okay. I've known these guys for a while, being around this league so long, and just seeing the development, not only the players, but the staff and up to management. I'm just happy to be a part of this.
With Brad Kristaps no longer with the team, those are a lot of regular season games of experience walking out the door, or being, however we want to phrase it. How does that change, if at all, your role as being kind of an old head or a true vet? You know what I mean? One
thing about it, I wish those guys well. I had a lot of fun playing with Porzingis. I had a lot of fun playing with Brad. Just great guys. My role doesn't really change. My whole career, I'm just a guy that's always been in shape, always ready for the moment. But right now, I'm in the next stage of my career as far as just being a vet, trying to be there for the team, being there for the young guys, trying to encourage them every day, push them every day because they're going to know they're going to push me. But just being Taj, all I know how to be is Taj, being a team-first guy, blue-collar guy, coming in and work every day, and just use my voice to inspire the young guys and try to get them yet more years in the league, and hopefully down the line they can just shout me out saying I helped them.
Speaking of that, what are your first impressions of Bilal?
He's a young boy, just eager to learn, eager to just get out there and play. But first thing I told him when he came in off the bench in the game against Charlotte, I told him I'm proud of him. First thing first is just going out there and just going after the points. Just going out there, knowing they're going to play against some top level opponents and taking good shots, not being afraid to miss, not being afraid to guard the toughest guy. And he took the challenge on. It's only about growth, and I think he's on the right path. We got to get him do some more rookie duties, but he's a great rook, man. I tell you that.
With being a vet, and you talk about coming in with a smile on your face all the time, how blessed you are, do you also make sure you do that and stay positive, knowing how long an 82-game grind this is and how, the dark days can get dark, to make sure that everybody's finding the happiness coming to work every day?
Yeah, for instance, that's one thing I'll tell you about the training staff, everybody. It's all about having the whole group understanding the process. Every day is going to be tough, but there's going to be one guy who's going to just inspire everybody in the whole locker room that particular day. You never know when your number's going to be called, but right now we're trying to just make the young guys just talk more, put a lot of pressure on them as far as just bringing the team together, because we're going to lean on everybody. At some point in the season, somebody's going to get their number called who didn't expect it. Your job is just be ready, stay in shape, put a smile on your face every day, knowing that you're in a great position to get better, and you've got a great staff behind you that's trying to get you better.
Take away from the preseason, especially being a veteran, do you appreciate getting those reps early on, even though it is a long 82-game season? What are your takeaways as a veteran with preseason and how it goes?
One thing about preseason I enjoy, as over the years, I always just say, you really can't get those reps back. Like today in practice, I was trying to get young guys as many reps as we can, because you can't simulate that. Because once we get going, we get going. Teams aren't trying to feel sorry for you. It's mano y mano. It's your team against their team, and it gets real physical. It gets real emotional, because we're fighting for something special. We're fighting to try to get to the playoffs, fighting to try to get better. And for our group, we're just trying to get the young guys even more experience. So every day, it's a test. And I think we're just taking it one day at a time, and we're moving forward.
What are your initial impressions of Jordan Poole as a teammate? Clearly, you have impressions of his game, having watched it for years, but now it's different to be someone's teammate.
Well, he's a great guy, man. First off, I love the kid already. He's such a ball of life, and when you're around young guys who have so much to bring to the table, so much energy and joy, you want to be a part of that. And he understands it's a new situation, but every day he's one of the first guys speaking up in the huddle, one of the first guys speaking up in the film. And he's a young man with a lot on his shoulders, and I'm just here to help him and help him grow.
We don't see him in the way that you see him, because we don't
What you mean by that?
Well, because we're not around him in the huddle.
Okay.
Have you ever seen me in an NBA huddle before?
Shit. Excuse me. I'm just saying, as much information, and I've seen you more than half my family, so you've been around enough.
Well, I feel
You've
bad.
been around enough.
I feel badly for you, Taj. I feel badly for you. No, so you have a perspective on him that we cannot have. Mm-hmm. What makes him a ball of life? What do you, aside from being the first person to speak in a huddle, or in a locker room, what do you see about him?
First thing first, he's not an introvert. He's one of those guys, he's cool with everybody. He fits into every circle on the team, and I can already see him. He hangs out in front of different people's locker as the day goes by. After practice, we talk, and even after practice, he's the last guy in the gym. And even when I'm in the weight room and he's one of the last guys in, we talk. We talk about history, we talk about the past things, and he tried to figure out everybody and try to ask questions. He's not afraid to ask questions, but the one thing I can say about him, every day I see him, he's always smiling. He's always smiling.
Do you think players who come over from other professional leagues like Bilal are better prepared for the roles they have to play in the NBA than guys who go to college? I asked you that because Kuz said that to me, and I'm wondering if you agree.
Well, it's different aspects. Everybody's trained differently, but overseas you're playing with grown men right away. You kind of get a real feeling for knowing what it's like to play against a vet who has to go home and try to take care of his family, versus a young guy trying to figure it out. He doesn't really have anything to worry about. He's just trying to go out there and play. There's two different aspects, but Bilal, just coming into the NBA, it's a whole different culture shock. You have to figure out how you can get on the court. You have to figure out how you can guard your position. You have to figure out how you can stay on the court and help your team. It's so many different roles in the NBA. I could talk about this for like at least an hour, but first thing first is knowing how to guard your position, knowing how to talk to your teammates and help them understand you better, and constantly being eager to learn. Once you stop trying to be eager to learn, it's kind of really tough for you in the NBA because the league is constantly evolving as far as just getting better and learning. So every day you have to be a new student. Raise your hand in the front of the class because that's how it is. Every day we have film. You have to be that sponge. Just raise your hand.
So that's your approach, even this far into your career, to kind of be the new student every day?
Yeah, that's my approach. But my approach is smiling, bringing the energy every day in practice, and letting the team, the room know that I'm here. I say good morning to everybody. But hindsight, I want guys to not take it for granted. Every day, if I do speak, I make sure they understand where I'm coming from being a vet, being in this situation, is not take anything for granted, and that I'm here for them, and that the whole team is here for them, and we're going to work together.
Do you feel like you grew in between that kind of stint as a starter and when you took over for John in the past 2 seasons?
Did I grow?
Just like handling the starting team.
Oh, yeah. I think each year I've just been more comfortable, more confident as a starter, having a bigger role. So, yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable with it, more confident in myself, and so for sure.
What does it take to earn that? Like, why? Just because you've done it before?
Yeah, I think so. I think for everybody it's different. For me, it's just having done it, having had success doing it, and just my preparation, knowing that I'm ready for it, knowing that that's what I want, and that's what I'm striving for. So it's a little mixture.
What did you add to your game the second time around that you did when you took over in Memphis?
I think just more poise, picking my spots better, just being a little more aggressive, but at the same time, still being who I am in terms of, valuing the ball, valuing possessions, setting up my teammates, but just finding different ways to pick my spots, whether it be scoring or still assisting. And yeah, just having better command of the team, as a leader. In Minnesota, I was young. Still trying to figure it out.
Really young.
So, yeah, I think in Memphis I grew a lot, and now we're here.
I'm not sure if you saw the NBA GM survey, but you got votes for most likely to be a head coach someday.
I didn't see that.
What's your reaction to that, and do you think they're spot on with that?
I take that as a compliment. And yeah, it's something that a lot of people are talented in the game. But I think IQ-wise, you can separate yourself. I pride myself on having a high basketball IQ. But no, I don't know if head coaching is in my future. But it's definitely something that I think would come natural. Would definitely come natural. I try to be an extension of the head coach out on the court as a point guard. So it might be in my future, but I take it as a compliment. The votes for sure.
Loaded question for you. What do you take more joy in? A perfectly placed pass in the shooting pocket that sets up a teammate for a three, or are you making a three?
Definitely the pass. Definitely the pass. I think there's just more to it. For me as a point guard, setting the table for my guys. It starts with the point guard. So I'd say 10 times out of 10, I would take the assist. Perfect pass, shooter's pocket, into a perfect make for one of my teammates. And I know they're, you make a good pass, they're more likely to, to return the favor.
There are a lot of things we don't understand about the game, but if you were to tell a fan about the art form of sending a perfectly paced pass over like 15 feet or more, what's involved in that?
A lot of, it's just, I would say starts with like movement, are you on the move? Are you running? Is your teammate running? Or are one of you at a standstill? Where's the defender? Do you have to place the ball kind of ahead of them, outside pocket, high, low? There's just a lot of different factors. So yeah, we could be here all day trying to break that down.
When you become a head coach one day, you're going to have to
Exactly.
do that.
Tyus, was basketball always your main sport?
It was.
From the jump, you never played anything else?
I also played baseball growing up, and I played football as well. But basketball was always my love. was always my love. I always knew that's what I would end up doing. I just love sports in general as a kid, but basketball was just always had the one up.
You felt most comfortable? It made you happiest?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Just, I mean, growing up, I mean, every kid just loves being active. So I love sports, love baseball, love football. Whatever season it was, felt like that was my favorite at the time. But basketball, I just knew deep down was like where my heart was. I was raised in a basketball family. Both my parents played. My older brother played as well. And so I was always in the gym since before I can even remember. So basketball always just had my heart.
Where do you feel like your game came from, mom or dad, then, if everybody played?
My dad was more of an athlete. My mom, I would say, is the IQ part of it. So I'm gonna give them both credit.
Smart man.
My mom was my coach growing up a lot, though. So yeah, she gets a lot of credit.
How cool is that?
It was cool, very cool. Just a lot of bonding. You don't realize it till you get older, like how much time she put in. Just practices a few times a week, games on the weekend. She never missed a game, like my whole youth, AAU, traveling ball, all the way up to high school. So you don't realize till you get older, like, I feel like I took it for granted a little bit in the moment. And once you get older, you realize like how much sacrifice she made. And at the same time, how close it helped us become just because we were spending tons of time together in the gym. And this was just the gym was our safe space.
Tyus, what is your approach with this team this year? With a lot of young guys, there are some vets, but playing from a point guard perspective, playing Minnesota and Memphis, this is a different team here. So do you, from a point guard perspective, look at it differently?
A little bit. Yeah, we're younger, and again, I'm one of the older guys now, so it's more on my plate from a teaching perspective. So just trying to understand that, understanding that with the younger team, younger guys, there's going to be days where certain things you might take for granted that you understand, they might not know yet or get or really realize that there's a different way to do it or things like that. So just understanding that you got to have patience, understanding that it's a process and, we all got to work together, but just realizing kind of like what my role is and how to approach that, how to approach, you can't talk too much. In my shoes, it's, the more I talk, the better. The more I'm communicating, the more I'm pulling the young guys aside and telling them what I see or what I want and things like that, the better. So just trying to continue to stay comfortable with that. And yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Have you learned anything about this team's needs just through the first 2 preseason games? What they need from you, I mean.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Just piggybacking off of that, just leadership, just talking, telling guys what I want, talking. I think if you ask like Wes or ask any of the coaches, they would want the same out of me. Putting guys in the right spots, telling guys what I need from them. And guys have been super open to me, giving direction, leading, and that's all you can ask for.
Turning up the music on you.
Exactly.
Going back to your mom, biggest thing that she taught you from a basketball perspective?
Biggest thing she taught me would be to have confidence in yourself. Have confidence in yourself. Have the belief. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to? And just trust in your work. You put the work in. You're getting up your shots. That's how you're going to be prepared. So.
Does she still text you, or does your dad text you after games? Like you need to do this, or during games?
She definitely does. I hope she sees this too. She'll text me. She'll call me. Did you get your shots up today? Did you go to the gym today? Off day? So did you go in still? Definitely pointers after the game, but I mean, she's all in. I mean, she's 100% in, with all her kids, her grandkids. That's just who she is, especially when it comes to ball. So she's mom first, but she's still coach. Exactly.
Tyus, going back to what you mentioned about a lot of new pieces. You obviously coming in and stepping into a role. Is that make this preseason a lot more important for this team moving forward with a lot of new pieces, a lot of young guys, and everyone trying to gel together early on?
I think so. When you got a bunch of new faces every year, there's some new faces, right, to every team. You really never have 1 through 15 of the same roster. But in this situation, we got a lot of new faces, so chemistry is something you have to build and work on. Again, we were here early. We were here all of September working on that, working through that, getting familiar with each other on and off the court and just trying to build that chemistry. But it's definitely something that we got to focus on, and we know it's going to have to grow. But we're here for it, and again, we're trusting in that and knowing that, come October, we're better than September. Come November, we're going to be better than October, and so forth. And I'm just excited for the growth that we have in store.
You always look at outcomes when it comes to the preseason. I know you guys obviously want to win all the time, but do you guys focus more on just kind of getting better, or do you guys really care about what the outcome is on a preseason game?
You always want to win. But at the same time, you're finding that balance of working on our stuff. You're trying certain things, maybe different coverages on defense, or different sets on offense, different lineup rotations, things like that. So you understand that maybe it's not always just about winning each preseason game, but at the same time, you want to win. You want whatever you're working on or trying out, you want to give 110% effort into that, and whatever lineups are out there or coverages we're in, you expect to work, and coach expects to work, and you that's why you're doing them. So at the end of the day, you still want to win and expect to win, but you also understand it's preseason, and that's what preseason is for, is to work through some things.
How is Jordan handling the task of going from maybe 5 or 6 on a depth chart to number 1 or 2 or 3? Sorry.
I think he's handling it great. I think he's ready for it. I think just his approach, his confidence is unwavering. It's been cool for me because he's a Midwest. We're both Midwest kids. But just coming from 2 different systems, playing against each other. Obviously, him in Golden State, me in Memphis, playing against each other in the playoffs, things like that. Now coming together, just getting to pick each other's brain, seeing just his approach to the game, him understanding my approach, how we can complement each other. And I think in a short time, we've came together pretty well, and we're just excited to continue to build on that. But I just see his approach every day, how he works, his work ethic. We're talking through the game nonstop, in the locker room, on the court, before practice, after practice. We're just constantly talking about what he likes, what I like, different schemes, things like that. And so I can just tell he's just ready for it.